Hey everybody, this is Jack Allwell with another money episode. On the last episode, we did some present value of cash flow math, and today I wanted to show you how to construct an amortization table going back to basics with the actual formula. So let's get to it. So in the last video, we did present valuing future cash flows to the present. So now we're going to do a little bit different, answering questions like, well, how much would my payment be if I'm getting financed at 4 or 5% over X number of years? And how does that look as it's rolling forward? So let's get to it. So for ease sake, let's say we're making 3 payments at the end of the periods of payment. Okay. And let's say we're getting some land finance from a friend, and the friend's offering us 5% interest, and the cost is, let's just say, $8,000. And we want to know what our payment is. Now, in the prior video on the present value of cash flows, we looked at what is the present value of $100 at times 1, 2, and 3. So this one, the present value is just and remember that V is 1 divided by 1 plus the interest rate. This is what we call the discount factor. Okay. So let's say so since I is 5%, let's figure out what this value is. So divided by 1.05, that's a discount factor. And then we want that plus X. So this part, this part is equal to 2.723. So if we wanted to figure out what premium we would have to pay at the ends of year 1, 2, and 3, we would just go 8,000 equals 2. And then we would divide 8,000 by, and we get a premium $2,937.67. And the way let's look at how the loan progresses over time to make sure this makes sense to us. Our balance at the beginning is $8,000. And we'll say beginning of period. Beginning of period 1. So, and remember, our premium in the last page was 2,937.67. Wow. So the interest start 8,000, and when we go forward, basically that's when the interest is accruing. So 8,000.05. So the interest that accrues is 400. So the balance is really going from almost 8,000 to 8,400, and then the payment occurs. Of this 29,337 I'll say end of period. And then this moves here. So that's our starting balance beginning. Now we're sitting there at the 5,462. And then we're going to accrue interest. See how the interest is going down now because our balance is smaller. We have the same payment. Now our balance is 2,000. Now we've moved to here. Time 2, we have one more payment in 3. So, and then as we're going to the end of the 3rd year, accrue another 139 with the payment. And the payment happens to be exactly such that the end of balance is 0. And that's how you do the amortization schedule by hand. Now I've shown this in Excel many times. So if you want to also see it in Excel and the formulas that are involved to do this there, you can go see that. Now I did want to show some shortcuts in terms of solving for the payment that would be required at a given interest rate, because there's a cool math trick that you can use. So let's say the payment you want to solve for is here, and you're basically spending that at the end of each period. And this could be annually, monthly. Now you'd want, if you were doing monthly, you'd want the monthly effective interest rate. If you're doing annual, you want the annual effective interest rate. But basically, we have this expression here. And there's a cool trick that you can use where you just multiply this times V, and we end up with okay, so that's like step 2. And then we're going to subtract the second formula from the first. So we got S minus SV. So we got 1 minus V here. P. And notice how these cancel out basically. All this inside stuff cancels out, and we get V plus V to the n plus 1. And we can simplify that a little bit by taking the V out and going 1 plus V to the n. And I think you'll see in a second why that's helpful. Now this S, 1 minus V. So what is V? Once again, V is the discount rate. That is 1 over 1 plus I. So 1 minus, I'm just going to put this in a sidebar. So 1 minus V equals 1 minus 1 over 1 plus I. And this 1 we could write as 1 plus I over 1 plus I. And therefore that is also equivalent to I over 1 plus I. So that's all sidebar for saying S I over 1 plus I equals P. And this V, once again, I'll write it as 1 over 1 plus I here just so you can see it clearer. If we multiply both sides by 1 plus I, those cancel out. And so this is our payment, and this would be our balance basically. So if we wanted, so we get P 1 plus V to the N over I equals S. And there you go. That's the way that, and then so then P equals S, and then it's just the inverse. So there you go. That would be a quick route. I oftentimes will solve for this factor right here. And then, yeah, just divide whatever your balance is by that number and you'll get your payment. So hopefully you found this helpful and interesting, and a way to check rates you're given or prices you're given, just so it makes sense. And hopefully I will see you in the next episode.